things are eaten up like that, you discover that the power of God will not rest on that person again. When you say, no, this is supposed to be a child of God. This is supposed to be a holy child of God. This is supposed to be a God full of glory and grace. And before you understand, the little foxes, those little things that we fed, it doesn't matter. They are the one that have eaten the person up. I don't know the little forces you have allowed in your marriage. I don't know the little forces you have allowed in your Christian life. I don't know the little forces you have allowed in the place of your work. I don't know those laws you have promulgated, those things that does not give God glory. You allow them. You allow them. You allow them. Today, what is happening? Let me tell you, one thing about these little foxes is this. When they are eating, they will eat small gradually, but they are very poisonous. That is why you see the mighty falling. Any mighty man, any great man you see that fall, the failure didn't start that day. It is small failure. Small failure that are gathered and gathered and gathered and gathered and gathered. And before you understand it, it accumulated. If you have a big tank of water, just a needle hole in that water, in that tank, keep dropping water, pim. It will keep dropping water. He said, no, it doesn't matter now. Put a bucket there. Come out in the morning. Before I understand it, the water has filled up. I have a tank in my backyard. It was dropping water. I said, there's no problem. The water we filled up. In 1 week time, we couldn't see water again. I asked my wife, is it this little leakage? Yes. That little leakage in your life, child of God, can cause total drain of power and glory and unction and anointing in your life. The little foxes you permitted, the little foxes of lies, those things you're supposed to restitute, you didn't restitute them. You say it doesn't matter. Does it hold any water? Yes, it matters a lot. These are the little foxes we're talking about. These are the little foxes. I remember I told you that these foxes we're talking about, when God sees His glory in you, His power in you, that's why He's still working in you. But when little foxes have eaten up, there will be no shout of a king. There will be no shout of a king. There will be no child of a king. Little foxes. Oh God, deliver me from little foxes. It doesn't matter, there will be matters arising in heaven. These are the little foxes we're talking about. That God will help us. I'm a child of God. I'm full of glory. But yet, the person has been eaten up. When the things that will make him a child of God will manifest, he will begin to deny God. He will begin to say one thing. A little offense, he will flare up. A little offense, he will begin to retaliate. No, that's not the way it should be. That's not the way it should be. These are the little foxes. One continue harboring it in the heart. And then, the Bible said the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can understand it if not only God? Who can understand it if not only the man of war? Who can understand it if not only Jesus of Nazareth? Who can understand it if not the Rock of Ages? Who can understand it if not the Prince of Peace? Who can understand it if not the power of the Holy Spirit? Yes, one can help, but in heaven, do you know that in heaven, whenever you get to heaven, when you look at the heart of anybody, you will see what the person is thinking already. So that you know when somebody is annoyed with you and when somebody is not annoyed with you. The human foxes we're talking about, yes, the human foxes are those human beings you allowed in your life. They are not everybody is supposed to be allowed in your life. Even it can be a Holy Ghost sister, it can be a Holy Ghost brother. No, into your privacy, into your spiritual life, there are people who are sent as an agent of darkness who are there to spy you. These are the human foxes, the people you allow. How can somebody say, I'm a man of God? Then you have your personal secretary, then a personal secretary, a woman. You go to every function with your personal secretary, a woman. In your hotel room, she's the one that is taking care. You're the one that is formulating this little foxes. So you're the one everywhere. Your wife is there. Then you're going with your personal secretary. She is good in this. She can be good everywhere. She can be in the office, but be careful. You are raising little foxes. Be very, very careful. You are raising a little foxes. The little foxes, the time they will retaliate, the time they will begin to eat up, it is you that will run up. So I want to let you know that, for instance, Jesus allowed a little fox in his own ministry, and that was Judas. The Bible says he knew him from the beginning and what he's going to do. Judas is there to perform a purpose. He was a little fox that is going to do the thing. The Lord allowed him. The Lord allowed him. The Lord allowed him. Yes, these are the people you allow in your family. There are people you will allow in your family, and your family will be destroyed. The people you allow in your ministry, and your ministry will be destroyed. You know, having known who I am, I have a team. I move with people. We go out. I have my prayer team. I have my evangelism team. Having known in a prayer team, we can gather in the night. We can gather everywhere. I don't want to hear stories. I make my team members of the prayer team only to be men. So that in the midnight we're praying, in the afternoon we're praying, there will be no distraction. But when we're on the crusade, everybody can be there. The main crew can come, the female crew can come, but the case of a personal secretary stops at the office. Stops at the office, not in my hotel room, not in my car, not anywhere. Every of his work will stop at the office. If there's need, I'll call him. He can discuss with my wife. These are the little foxes we continue graduating from. We continue knowing about. I want to tell you 3 things about little foxes. I told you human foxes are those people you allow in your life, and before you understand it, they will come and eat you up. There are 3 things about them. Number 1 is this. They will try to win your confidence. Oh my God. The moment they come, they will play good. You will love them. You will like them. You bring them in. You teach them this. Tell them this about you. You reveal secrets. You don't know they are there to collect information. You see? They will like to win your confidence. If they see what you like, they will give it to you. These are human foxes. It has happened to a lot of men of God. It has happened to a lot of women of God. It has happened to a lot of children of God. They put their hand on their head and say, hey, I never knew. I never knew. I didn't say you shouldn't trust people, but have a discerning spirit. Some people have gone to some people as mentors. At the end of the day, they come back crying people. They come back defeated people. They come back shattered people. They come back beaten people. They come back people that are betrayed. People are betrayed. These are human foxes. I said number 1 in these human foxes is that they will like to win your confidence. You will like them, like the way they move. Some people have so many men, have so much love their personal secretary in the office more than the wife at home. No, their work is at the office. Let your secretary everything there. The wife remain the woman of the house and the woman of your life. Number 2, they will study your strength and weakness and give her the information. They will study. These are human foxes. They will study about you. They know your strength and they know your weakness, and they will give you information about you because you so much rely on them, so well on them, so close to them. You don't know they are spies. They are there to study you and to give you information about your life. These are human foxes we're talking about. Number 3 is this. They will strike at the right time to destroy. The time you needed them in the fellowship. The time you needed them to move together. They will remind you what happened, and they will add lies, and they will say one thing or the other. Say, sister, can you say this? Brother, can you say this? I have gotten experience. People coming to be sweetheart, loving you. Nobody will love you more than Jesus. Let me tell you, the closest person on earth to you is your wife or your husband. Any other opposite sex too close to you, be too careful. There could be brotherly love, there could be sisterly love, but they have limitations somewhere. Your wife to be the person in your heart. They will study your weakness. No, they will study your weakness. Yes, that's number 2. Number 3 is that they will strike at the right time. The moment they strike, they will win, because they have information about you. When they strike, they will definitely win. These are the little foxes we're talking about. And that is why in the ministry of Jesus, some people volunteered. Lord, I want to follow you. He said, go. He knows they are foxes. He has allowed one already in the ministry. And that one he allowed has a particular purpose. He has a function he's going to perform. I don't know who you have allowed. I don't know the maid you have brought in. How can you? You know who your husband is. You begin to bring on grown-up men in the house. You know who your wife is, the weakness. You begin to send your wife, your friend to your house, and you know the kind of character your wife has. No. This is a time to study your partner. This is a time to study the ministry. This is a time to study things around about you so that you don't put Jesus an open shame. Oh, they will strike at the right time and they will win. When they strike, they will definitely destroy. But my prayers is that any little fox you have allowed in your life already, any little foxes you have allowed in your life already, they will not strike. The God of heaven will open your eyes and they will not strike in Jesus' name. Even if they have planned to strike, they shall not succeed. Even if they have planned to strike, the God of heaven will give you victory. The God of heaven will give you victory. And you'll be on the victorious side in the name of Jesus Christ. That is about human foxes. Let me go to character foxes. Character foxes are those ones in our character. Those ones in our character. The characters, foxes are those ones we have performed. They are those ones we have allowed. Those characters that are not good that we have allowed in our life, they are the character foxes I'm talking about. Many of us have some characters that is too difficult for them to amend. When you talk to them, they say, what do you mean? What do you mean? Look at the one of the characters. Number one is anger. These are the foxes that are eating us up. If you see the way anger is eating somebody up, number one is anger. Moses had that spirit. Moses was a perfect man. Moses was a good man, goodly in the house of God, a holy man of God, a man that listens to God, a man that hears the voice of God. But when anger came, Moses became a shattered human being. He couldn't see the promised land. Look at what happened in the book of Numbers chapter 20, from 2 to 11. We may not finish reading them. Book of Numbers chapter 2, or chapter 20, from 2 through 11. Then came the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, in the desert of Sin, the first month, and the people are there, and there was no water for the congregation, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and the people chode with Moses and spake, saying, would God that we had died when our brethren died before the Lord. Verse 4. And why have you brought up the congregation of the Lord into this wilderness, that we and our cattle should die? Verse 5. And wherefore have you made us to come up out of Egypt to bring us in unto this evil place? Hey, they call the place God brought them evil place. You see, leaders, be too careful. People around you will provoke you. Be very, very careful. It is no place of seed, or fig, or of vine, or of pomegranates. Neither is there any water to drink. Verse 6. And Moses and Aaron went from the presence of the assembly unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they fell upon their faces, and the glory of the Lord appeared unto them. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, take the rod and gather thou the assembly together, that thou and Aaron thy brother, and speak unto the rock before their eyes, and he shall give forth his water, and thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock. So thou shalt give the congregation and the beast drink. Verse 9. And Moses took the rod from before the Lord, and he commanded, as he commanded him, and Moses and Aaron gathered the congregation together before the rock, and he said unto them, hear now, you rebels, must we fetch you water out of this rock? And Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock, and congregation drank, and their beasts also. And the Lord spoke unto Moses and Aaron, because you believed me not to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Israel. Therefore, you shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have. Anger, 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 anger is one of the forces. They have insulted Moses and told him a lot of things. He was a gentleman. Bible said the meekest man that has ever lived on earth was Moses. He was a gentleman, but when he came to that place, the Bible, the word of God said, God told him, speak to the rock. Jesus is the rock. My son will be there. The moment you speak, he will perform the miracle. Moses said, okay. He came and insulted the people. Leaders, be very careful. The utterances you make, the word that come out of your mouth, you will be provoked, your heart will be heavy. But your head is too important to you. You leaders, listen to the word of God. Please, your head is too important. Of anger, he spoke. You, congregation, wicked one, you stiff-necked people, hardened people, stubborn people, you are going to drink water by force now. Bible says he used the rod and lifted it up. That was not instruction. Out of anger, bah, he hit the rod. Hey, he hit the rock of ages. He hit the man of war, man. Oh, this is not our agreement. This no. Why? Who are you to hit your maker? Who are you? I am the rock of ages. I am the rock that will produce this water. Why? 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 It was a human fox. Moses didn't see this in his life. He was seeing it in the life of others. But he never looked into his life. Oh, God, me, that after preaching to others, I first of all preach to myself, and my life become a ministry to other people. Become a life to other people. Because pride destroyed a lot of people. Pride is another little fox that we never see. Is another little fox that people have never seen in their life. Is another one that keep destroying people and destroying people and destroying people and destroying over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearest thou unto the voice of the word of the Lord. Thus says the Lord of hosts. I remember that which Amalekah did to Israel, how he led wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalekah, utterly destroy all that they have, and spare not them, but slay both men and women, infant and suckling, horse and sheep, camel and asses. If you continue reading down, he went and performed. But the Bible said, by the time they come back with calf, the fat cow. And when Samuel came, he said, I did it all. A proud man. I did it all. I have conquered. Samuel said, you didn't do it well. Pride will make you not to take correction. Who are you to correct me? Who are you to correct me? It has destroyed a lot of believers. Pride. We have not arrived though. I have not arrived. I'm still running the race. I am still asking God for favor. I'm still asking him for mercy, that I may find favor before him that day, that I will be settled that day, that the glory of God will be upon me that day, that God of love and God of power and God of excellency will be the King and God and Lord of my life. That at the end of that day, when I shall be welcomed, I shall have a royal welcome. That is my heart desire. Let pride get out of my life. You know, when there is pride, humility will not be there. We are raising unnecessary pride. How can we in a church, we make people to be proud unnecessarily? How can you go to church and say the most humble sister, you put a tag and it is given to her, and she's wearing the tag to the church, the most humble sister? You're no more humble. You're showing the whole world that you're arrogant. You're showing the whole world your pride and the level of pride. One sister was talking, and she was the most spiritual sister in the campus. That she won the award. The fellowship gave her the most spiritual sister. What is her barometer? What is her measuring point? Why sending people to her? The highest title in this church is this person. If you are doing such in your church, you're not giving to God. You're in competition. Please. This is time for us to come out of this. It's a problem in the house of God. Envy. In the book of Proverbs chapter 14 verse 30. A sound heart is the life of flesh, but envy, the rottenness of the bone. Envy is the rottenness. When you live in envy like Achan, he envied the gold. He envied the silver. God said, these shouldn't have come. God said, this shouldn't have been. Why are you envying him? You see to that. Somebody is having maybe a powerful Mercedes car, you are envying. Sin the earth. Bible said, do all you could to restore the person back to God again. But the word you have spoken already is pushing the person into the world. And the person said, if that is the case, yes, what will happen? That's how you win people with love. Look at what Bible said in James chapter 1, verse 26. James chapter 1, verse 20. If any man among you sin, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain. If you cannot bridle your tongue, if how to bridle our tongue, to know how to bridle our tongue. In the morning, bridle your tongue, speak with melody, speak with sweetness of heart, and people will be there. You see, another teaching we have in the house of God today is laziness. So many children of God are so lazy, commit the work in their hand, they will not do it. When another person has done it, they will begin to complain. You give a lot of duty to this person. He's the one that did it. She's the one that did it. She's the one that did it. Where envy is, then laziness will come in. When it's given to you, you will not do it. You will not do it. You will not do it. And now it's given to another person. Why are you complaining? You are lazy, you couldn't do it. Laziness is a demon, it's a spirit. Ask it, God, to deliver you from that. Look at what the Bible said about laziness in Proverbs chapter 6, verse 10. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 10. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 10. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come, as one that traveleth, and thy one as an armed man. You know, a little folding of hand. So many people are depending on other people. Yes, a brother can help you, a sister can help you. But can't you go to work? Can't you go and find something doing? You fear that begging is sweet. You beg sister A. If he doesn't help you, sister B, he doesn't help you. And because of this, they are not helping you. You turn to, they become your enemies. No, it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be. That's a little fox in your life. That's a little fox in your life. Remove the little foxes in your life. Remove the little foxes in your life. Another point 6, is little living. In the 1 Corinthians 5, 6, what we read before, in the 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 6, the little living. The little living we're talking about. 1 Corinthians 5, 6. Your glorying is not good. Why are you glorying? Knowing you. This fellowship will not function. I am the chief sponsor. I am the one that brought the money, brings the money. I am the one that typed this. Are you doing it for the fellowship? Are you doing it for your own reward in heaven? Why can't you do it for Jesus and do it unceremoniously? Why can't you do it for Jesus and nobody will recognize that you're the one that is doing it? Did you ever hear the man that sponsored banking highest in the whole world? The man is doing it quietly in the United States. Nobody's telling him to come and make noise. I sponsor banking. He never said it. Only through banking we heard it. That this was the man that had been sponsoring me for this year. He has been giving me $10 million every year to go and do the work of God. The man is quiet, going on his ministry. He never brings banking to be his guy. Because of sponsoring the fellowship, because of paying part of your tithe, because of giving God back what he has given to you, you want to assume authority. If I leave this fellowship today, the fellowship will fail. It's not true. It's only God can leave the fellowship and the fellowship will fail. Let me talk to you. Let me tell you. Let me speak to you, brothers and sisters. God can take the place of anything and nothing can take the place of God. You felt that you're too important in the house of God. The day you die, another person will take over. Every one of us are important, but when you want to get yourself too much that you're so important, heaven will not be happy with you. He said, your glorying is not good. Your glorying is not good. If it's not me, ask them. Ask this person. person, ask this person. I am I am number one. I bring money. Yes, the money I sent last time. This and this. Another spirit have entered. It's no more spirit of fellowship. It's no more spirit of Christ. It's no more spirit of oneness. It's no more spirit of love. It's no more spirit of Christ. Oh, 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 may God help us. May His grace be upon our lives. May He help us that we do things freely without knowing who did it. When I was in Bible college, there's a table there. It is called Miracle Table. If you cook your food, you have eaten your own, you take 1 or 2 plates, you hide yourself and go and drop it at Miracle Table. Hungry person and not say, I am the one that provided it. Yes, this car I bought, this equipment I bought, you must have to put my name there. Let people know, let the world know. You're only eating your reward here. When you give this thing, I paid tithe. What of the tithe I paid? How did you use that tithe? The money I brought, how did you use that money? You are only eating your reward here on earth. These are the little foxes we're talking about. They are eating up brethren, and before you understand it, you spoil the heart of 1 or 2, 3 brethren. You are sowing seed of discord among brethren, and the fellowship will no more work, and you think that God will spare you, and you think that God will prosper you, and you think you make heaven. No, little foxes cannot allow you to make heaven. Little foxes cannot. So little living. The Bible says little living, little lifestyle. Yes, you are the leader of women, you are the big leader, and before understanding, you're sewing your dress, the cleavages of your breast are sin. A leader's sin is a leading sin. A leader's sin is a leading sin. Yes, people will look at you. Okay, look at how so sister dressed. It is not a sin. Let me dress like that. That's a little living. That's a little living. That's a little living. You have introduced a style. What will he be known on earth here? Will he like to be known for evil that you have done? Is it not better to say, Lord, I don't want to be introduced in a negative way. You are only passing by. After you, somebody will still occupy the earth. After that person, another person will occupy. Before you came, somebody was occupying that position. And when you leave, another person will still occupy the position until the day Jesus of Nazareth will come. You may think I'm not talking in love, brethren, but I'm talking to you what God has told me to tell the church of Jesus Christ. We are so segregated. In our heart, we have little foxes. The little foxes. We greet our brother, we hug our sister in the open. In our heart, we have other poisonous, the poisons in our heart. No, these are little foxes. We need to deliver ourselves. This is the time that the deliverer needed deliverance. The deliverer needs deliverance. This is time. Heaven will not think of this. Heaven will not accept this thing. It is a way of dirtiness. This is a fellowship. We are brethren. Let's gather together and edify ourselves. You bring your gift of healing. I bring my gift of prophecy. This one bring the gift or the other gift of speaking in tongue and prayer. We put them together and the church is lifted up. When you make the gift of a pastor more than that of evangelist, apostle, higher than this one, we spoil things. Let not allow the little foxes anymore. If you are come with my little fox, you come with your little fox. The other person come with a little foxes will be everywhere. And before you understand it, the fellowship will no more work. The fellowship will no more work. But if we can allow ourselves delivered of little foxes, God of heaven and earth will deliver us and see us thoroughly through. Hallelujah. I don't know the fashion you're introducing in the house of God. I don't know the dressing you're introducing into the house of the Lord. So many leaders are very, very, very late to church. They are very, very late to church, very late to fellowship. Like this thing now, some people will key in 5 minutes to the ending of the time, 4 minutes to the ending of the time. I am too busy. Continue being busy. That's no problem. When have you queued on time and listened to the word of God? You are looking for money. You are so busy. Before you got married, you told God you will serve him. I will serve him. He gave you a husband, gave you a good wife. Today, look at the way you are serving God. Little foxes are eating you up, and little foxes will allow you to always have excuse and excuse and excuse and excuse. Oh God, deliver us from little foxes. Deliver us from little foxes and little living. Oh, look at the way we dress to the churches. Look at the lateness we bring in. Some leaders in a congregation like that, when they come to late, instead of them to go to the back, they will distract everybody and come to the front. That is spirit of pride. That spirit of pride, and everybody will look at that person. No, we shouldn't allow little foxes to continue eating us up. We will ask God for mercy. Ungratitude. Ungratitude is another little foxes that have been eating people up. We are not grateful to God. Ungratitude character. This person has done this. Why not give God praise? Why not say, Lord, I thank you? Why not magnify the name of Emmanuel? And what are we doing to ourselves? And what are we doing to ourselves? Let's see what the Bible is telling us about being ungrateful, ungratitude. Okay, look at what the Bible said in the book of Zechariah chapter 4, verse 10. Zechariah 4, verse 10. For who had despised the days of small things? For they shall rejoice and shall see the pullment in the hand of Zerubbabel. With those 7, they are the eyes of the Lord, which run to and fro through the whole earth. Ungratitude. Because it's starting, because, we are not very, very grateful to God in most cases. You despise the days of little beginning. You despise the day the fellowship is in shaking. You want to stand aside. You don't want to contribute. You don't want to, I am distant. If I speak, it will end. You are not God. It's only God that will come out and every issue will end. It's only God that has the final say. You can suggest, brethren can take it, or brethren can say no. The power is invested in a leader. The leader you have lifted up, why not support him and do the work of God? You want everybody to know that you are the doer of it. That's a little fox in your life. That's a little fox in your life. It is eating you up and it continue to eat you up. But God of mercy will show us mercy. God of favor will show us favor. I will soon conclude this message by the grace of God. Number 8 is neglecting family altar. Neglecting family altar. Neglecting family altar. That's another foxes that have eaten the church of Jesus up. How many times do family gather to pray together? When do they pray? And what kind of heart do they use to pray together? In the book of Genesis chapter 35. In the book of Genesis chapter 35. Remember Abraham, Jacob promised God is going to build an altar for him. He thought that God is a boy. He can do it. And what happened? He never built the altar again. He became rich, prosperous, things were allowing, things were moving. And God allowed shaking. His only daughter was raped by the people of the town. And his children went and killed them. Hey, kill the king of the land, kill the princes of the land. And Abraham was shaking and fidgeting. Look at Genesis chapter 35 from verse 1. And God said unto Abraham, arise, go up to Bethel, and dwell there, and make thee an altar unto God that appeareth unto thee, when thou fleest from the face of Esau thy brother. Then Jacob said unto his household, and to all that were with him, put away the strange gods that are among you, and be clean, and change your garments, and let us arise and go up to Bethel. And I will make there an altar unto God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and was with me in the way which I went. These are the little foxes. Neglecting family altar. How many times do you agree with your wife to pray together? And your children, how many times do you agree to pray together? Everybody's doing his own thing. The wife will kneel at the corner and pray. The children will pray and pray together. This is a family of Jesus. The family of Jesus in this fellowship agree that we have appointed time. That is our own altar. We gather together. Do you know that the altar of this fellowship, this CHMI, do you know that the altar is so powerful? Because you have your altar, wherever you have your member, you have the altar of God there. You have the continental altars. The people are in Africa are there. People in Europe are there. People in North America are there, I'm sure. I don't know if South America and the Asia, if they are all there, and Australia, that means you have the altar all over the world. You have voices representing all over the world. What are we trying to say? The little foxes. If the house permits, next time, I may finish up about the little foxes, but if they want a different message or topic altogether, I'll do that. What you should know about the little foxes is what we got to talk for the next time. What we got to know about the little foxes, their strategies, the style they come with, what they are able to do. I don't know how many of them you have allowed. A little lie, you told it, you told somebody, cover this sin for me, don't discuss it with anybody, don't say it with anybody. You handle this person and say, don't say, these are little foxes. One day, this person will open his mouth and leak your secret, that thing you did in secret, the other person will say it, the other person will say it. When 3, 4, 5 are saying it together, oh, what are you going to talk about? It's time to pray. Brethren, have you think of little foxes? Shall we begin to pray? Let's begin to pray. Can you begin to talk to God? I will lead a little and I'll hand over to moderator. But can you begin to talk to God about the little foxes this time around? Begin to talk to him. Tell him, mighty man of valor. Tell him, ancient of the days. You are the God of my life. Show me favor, show me grace. Begin to pray, begin to pray. Tell him, show me favor, show me grace. Lord, show me favor and show me grace. Lord, every little fox in my life, every little fox in my life, every little fox in my life, all the foxes in my life.
Father, have mercy on me, Lord. Every little foxes in my life, oh God. Father, take them away. Father, Lord, take away every little fox in my life. You allow them to destroy me, oh Father. Father, little fox of anger. Father, take it away from my life, oh God.
Oh God,
Allow some possession.
Father, every fraction, oh Lord, that I'm
From anger from my life. In the name of
oh Lord, that I
Jesus Christ of
approve of myself, oh Lord.
my
Take
God, my
away the
God.
little
take
foxes.
away
Take away
bitterness,
the
oh
little
God.
foxes, oh Lord,
Father,
in the
take
mighty
away
name of
For
Jesus.
having little
pride.
foxes,
Take
oh
In
away
the
God,
the
my
name
little
of
Father in my
foxes.
life,
Take
Jesus
away the
Christ
little
little
of
foxes,
foxes
oh
Nazareth.
in
God,
the
my
mighty
Oh
Father
name
in
of
our
Lord,
Jesus.
my
family,
God, take away
The
envy.
little
Lord
foxes.
Jesus, have
Take away the
mercy.
Towards
little foxes
Jesus
in the
Christ of
mighty name of
Nazareth.
Jesus.
My Lord and my
Take away the
God.
little foxes.
Father, Lord
In
Oh God, my
Jesus.
Father, Baba, the
Every
spirit
character
of
from
Jesus
me.
in my
All
life,
the
oh
little
God, Father,
foxes,
Lord,
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 Jesus.
me, Lord
my
Jesus.
God.
the
Oh,
little
those
fox, oh
little
Lord,
foxes,
that is
oh God, my
hampering the
Father,
flow
Lord,
of the Spirit in my life,
Deliver
my
me, O
Father.
forgive me,
God.
Lord
Take it
Jesus.
away. Take it
Mercy, Lord
away.
My
Take it
Jesus.
life,
away.
Oh,
little
Take it away by the
Jesus.
power in the
Father,
blood
with
of
your
Jesus.
mercy,
destroy
deliver me, Lord, my
Take
Father.
it away.
every
Take it away,
Little
oh
foxes,
Father.
oh God, my Father, that are still
In the
following
blood
me,
of
oh God, my
Jesus.
Father, with your
Away,
mercy,
take
with
it
your
away, oh
mercy.
Lord.
Father, Abba,
Lord,
Power in the blood of
thank
Jesus.
you,
I
Jesus.
pray.
Forgive me,
Lord,
Lord,
take
my Father.
me, O God.
Lord Jesus, forgive me.
In the
In the
blood of
mighty name of
Jesus.
Jesus.
Name of
Father, with your
Jesus
mercy.
Christ of
Father,
Nazareth.
help me, Lord, my
Name of
Father.
Jesus
Power in
Christ
the
of
blood of
Those
Nazareth.
little
Jesus.
foxes
Father, have
in my life,
mercy.
Every little fox upon my
your
life, oh
mercy,
Lord,
your
that is
mercy,
affecting my walk
mercy,
with
Lord
you.
Jesus.
Oh
Father, have
Father, take
mercy.
it away,
Mercy,
take
Baba,
it
for
away.
revealing
Take
all
God.
these
it
little
away,
foxes,
oh
oh
Lord.
God, my Father and my
The
life.
power in the blood of
God.
Jesus.
Jesus, have
Show me
mercy.
mercy.
Oh
Jesus, have
Lord.
All the
mercy.
little foxes, oh
Hey,
Every
God.
so
fox,
many
oh
little
Lord, that have
foxes, oh
allowed
God.
in my life, oh
Father,
Lord,
forgive me,
to
Lord. Lord
ruin my
Jesus, have
ministry, oh Lord,
mercy.
to
Lord
ruin my
Jesus,
work
have
with you, Lord.
mercy. Have mercy
Father,
upon me.
take it
Father,
away.
Woman
forgive
of
me, Lord. Have mercy, Lord.
Grace
Lord,
of
have mercy.
repentance, Lord Jesus.
ruining my
Lord,
life.
have mercy.
Grace of
My
repentance,
Father,
Lord.
Every woman
Baba,
Every little
ruining
fox,
their
oh
life,
Lord, every
ruining
human
their
agent
life.
that has
in
been
my life.
Lord,
ruining my
Father,
life,
take
oh
it
Lord.
away from me.
God is in
Father,
the
Father,
may
take
you
it away
take it
from me,
away.
Lord.
May you take it away by the
Take it
power
away,
in the
oh God,
blood of
my Father.
such
Jesus.
woman from such God.
In the mighty name
God
of
deliver me.
Jesus. Every human agent, every human element, character, oh Lord,
In
that is
Jesus'
expected from
mighty name we pray.
Amen.
I want to hand over to moderator. Moderator, go on right now. Go on right now with other prayer point. Go on.
Amen.
I hand over to moderator. Yes.
Amen. God bless you very much, sir. Yeah, we are still going to continue. We just had little forces because there are times, like he said, they will be eating deep into our lives. We will not know. It doesn't matter. This little one, when it gets to a point at our initial stage of conversion, there is this fear. Just like the days of this fear, this consciousness, we are conscious, we are very mindful of the things that we do. But when you get to a stage, you begin to get too familiar with the whole thing. We do now doesn't matter, you can be too holy. Please, among all these people, you begin to compare. So we are still going to pray for that purging. Those forces that we have allowed into our life, because initially they were not there, but we allowed them again. We are still going to pray for the Lord to search us, scan us with the fire. His fire, his microscope, search us from the crown of our head, from every pinch and inch of our hair to the sole of our feet. Everything that is there, that is standing as a force against our holiness, against our righteous living, against our life, against this heavenly race. Let that fire of the Lord burn it out of our life in the name of Jesus Christ. That we pray
Father, in
tonight.
the
Father,
mighty
in the
name of
mighty
Jesus.
name of
Son of
Jesus.
God, me,
I am that I am.
my Father.
Father, where I become too
my nails.
Father, show me, oh God, my Father, Baba, those little forces that are hiding, oh God, my Father, in my life. Father, reveal them, oh God, my Father, reveal it to me, oh God, my Father, in the mighty name of Jesus.
Let your fire burn them out. Let your fire burn them out. Let your fire burn them out. From Jesus Christ. Father, let the fire of the Holy Ghost from my life in the name of Jesus Christ. To remain in my members, to remain everything that will come and end my garment. Jesus, in your mercy, take them away from me, oh God. But I take them away from me, oh God. But I take them away from me, oh God. In the name of Jesus Christ, everything that is quelling the divine Holy Spirit of the living God, everything that wants to
have mercy upon me, oh God, my Father. Oh, the little foxes that is in my life, oh God, my Father.
that is
It is, oh God, my Father, expose every little
Jesus
that is
Christ,
still hiding in my life, oh God, my
let
Father.
your fire of purging, let your refining fire take them out of my life, oh God,
The
in
little
the
foxes, oh
mighty
God, my
name of
Father,
Jesus.
that are still operating in my life, oh God, my Father, trying to hinder me, oh God, my Father, to deliver me, oh God, my Father.
Jesus' name we pray. We're going to tell the
Jesus
Lord to
Christ,
purge us. Completely. Everything, every rubbish, even we eat naturally, they are rubbish that should not be in you. We need to take remove them, then you become a normal person again. We're going to tell the Lord to purge us. Purge out every nonsense, every idolating, every talkativeness, every anger, every hatred, every bitterness, every pride, every lack of self-control, whatever that is there that does not glorify Him, does not receive the message. Then you begin to
have
purge us
mercy,
tonight with
Lord
the fire of the Holy
Jesus,
Ghost, with
Father,
the blood of
deliver me, oh
Jesus.
God,
Then
my
you begin
Father,
to purge
Baba,
us.
from
Father,
this
purge us
little
tonight.
foxes, oh
Purge your
God, my
children
Father,
tonight. Each and every
Baba,
one of us, my Father, we
little
need your purging. We need your
hang, oh
purging.
God,
We need
my
your
Father,
purging.
if there's
CHMI need
any
your
way, oh
purging.
God,
All
my
the body of
Father,
Christ,
Baba,
we
I
need your
remove
purging.
my tongue,
Even
oh
at
God,
this
my
time,
Father,
oh
and
God, of
everything
grace
that
falling
started
away,
to
that
glorify
tonight
you, oh
will be
God, my
purged, oh God.
Father,
But
little
you said if
foxes,
a
oh God,
man
my
be a
Father,
burn, purge
try with
himself.
your mercy,
If he
deliver
ought
me,
to
Father,
also
have
be
mercy,
clean
mercy,
for the
have
master's
mercy
use.
upon me,
But
oh
we want
God,
to be
my
fit
Father,
for
have
your use, oh
mercy,
God.
have
We want to be
mercy, oh
fit
my
for your work.
Father, of
We want to be
blessing,
fit for
Father,
ministry. We
forgive
want to
me,
be
Lord
fit for the
Jesus,
heavenly
Father,
race.
have
We want to be fit
mercy,
for the kingdom.
everything
Daddy,
in my
purge
life,
us
oh Lord
tonight
Jesus,
in the
have
name of
mercy,
Jesus Christ.
mercy
Father, purge
upon
us.
me, oh God,
Purge
my
your
Father,
children.
forgive me,
Purge your
Lord
ministers.
Jesus,
Purge your
Lord
children.
Jesus,
Purge the
Father,
youth.
forgive me,
Purge
Lord
your
Jesus,
wives. Purge your
deliver me, oh God,
husband. For
mercy,
in
take it away
Jesus'
from
name
me,
we pray.
in the name of Jesus Christ.
Lord, touch myself.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
We are still going to pray. Pray as a righteous woman. Because there are times that the little forces in the life of the women are their marriage, the way we live with our husbands, the manner, the mood of conversation. We begin to get too familiar. We begin to turn them into our toy or whatever it is. Maybe the Bible told us that Sarah called Abraham Lord, whose daughter we are. He said we should win our husbands to ourselves with a quiet spirit, with that chaste conversation that is of the sight of the Lord a great prize. And many of us, we have failed in that area. So we are still going to pray for the Lord to make us righteous women. Whenever we have lost our virtue, whenever we have lost our dignity, whenever we have lost that saltiness in our marriage, in our home, in our life, even as a young girl, single girl, you are not married, it is still necessary. The way some of us talk to our suitor, it is very wrong. The way we
Father,
talk
in the
to men, it
mighty
is
name
very
of
wrong. We are still going
Jesus,
to pray, Father, bring out
my
the
Father,
virtue
have
in me.
mercy
I
upon
want
me,
to
oh
be a
God, my
virtuous
Father,
woman.
Baba, in
Whenever
any
I've
way, oh
lost
God,
that
my Father, I
saltiness, whenever
failed, oh
I've
God,
lost that
my
value,
Father, Baba,
whenever
to
I've lost
be a
that taste in
virtuous
my life,
woman.
whenever I've lost that
Father,
taste in my
forgive
marriage,
me, Lord
not in your
Jesus, have
infinite mercy.
mercy,
So now,
mercy,
I
all the
want it
little
back
foxes,
in
oh
your
God, my
mercy.
Father, that is
Remove
in my
everything
marriage.
that is not even
Father,
as a
with your
man,
mercy,
even as
deliver
faithfulness,
me,
we
oh
are
God,
feeling
my
it.
Father, to
But
mercy in the
tonight, oh
mighty name
God,
of
we
Jesus.
want to
Take
take
it
away
away from
every
me, oh
spirit
God,
of the world,
with
every
your
spirit of
mercy.
Jezebel that has
Deliver me, oh
entered
God,
into the
my
life of
Father,
the
that
women,
little
everything
fox,
that
oh
has
God, my
removed the
Father, Baba,
virtue of the living
in
women.
my marriage,
Lord,
that
tonight,
is
oh God,
still
we pray. But I
operating, oh
take
God,
it
my
away.
Father, in
Bring
my
our
life, oh God,
virtue.
my Father,
Help us, oh
Father,
God,
with
to
your
be
mercy,
righteous
with
women
mercy,
indeed.
Lord
We don't
Jesus,
just
with
want to
mercy,
bear
oh
it
God,
as
not
name.
being a
We
good
don't just want to carry it as a
a good
logo.
Father,
We
a
don't want to
virtuous
carry
woman.
the
In
the
the
set
mighty
of
name
being a
of
righteous
Jesus,
woman, no
Lord, have
earring,
mercy with
no
your mercy, with
makeup,
your
no
mercy,
no
Father, give me
branding,
the
and
character
then
of a
inwardly
virtuous
we are
woman.
Jezebels
In the
and
mighty name of
Lord,
Jesus, Father,
tonight we
give me
pray
the
in your
character of a
infinite
virtuous
mercy.
woman. In the
Help us,
mighty
oh
name
God,
of
give us that
Jesus,
quiet
Father,
spirit.
help me, Lord, my
Circumcise our
Father,
heart,
Baba. In
crucify
the
our
mighty name
flesh
of
in the
Jesus,
name
oh
of
God,
Jesus
Father,
Christ. Baba, crucify
crucify
our
my
flesh, oh
Father
God.
to refine my
Circumcise us
thoughts, oh
in and
God,
out. Circumcise
crucify
us
my flesh, oh God,
in
my
the
in the
mighty
mighty name
name
of
of
Jesus,
Jesus
Father,
Christ.
give me the character of a virtuous woman. In the mighty name of Jesus, with your mercy, Father,
Jesus' name we
give me the
pray.
mighty name of Jesus.
Of a believer, it is a falling thereof, not even just falling on earth and then where are you going with a proud spirit. So we are going to pray for the Lord to break us. Say, Father, break me to the latter. Humility or meekness or humbleness is one of the fruit of the Spirit. We're going to tell the Lord to take away every spirit of pride from our life, spirit of pride from our home. Fine, in the ministry we might be sheep. We carry a sheep, a face of sheep. At home, how are you? In the working place, how are you? In your working place, you might be a sheep. At home, how are you? In the church, how are you? In the house, you might be a sheep. In the church, how are you? We are still going to pray, say, Father, take away the spirit of pride from me. Break me, Holy Spirit of the Lord. Break my bones, break my ego.
Father,
Remove this
break
75,
me, oh
75
God,
should have
my
passed from
Father,
me.
Baba,
This
break
50,
me,
50
oh
should
God,
have
my
passed.
Father, make me
Remove them,
to
oh
be
God. Help me
humble,
to
oh
be
God,
humble.
my Father. In the mighty name
In
of
the name
Jesus,
of
take
Jesus
away
Christ.
any
Father, oh God, we
pride,
pray
oh
for
God,
that
my
spirit of
Father, in my
humility.
life.
Father,
Father,
we have
take
taken off
away
the garment
pride
of
in
pride
my life.
and we
Father,
have
destroy
dropped
the
the
spirit of
garment of
pride.
meekness,
Deliver me, oh
love,
God, my
goodness,
Father,
faith,
from the
grace.
spirit
Take
of
it away from us,
in
Lord.
the mighty name of
Garment
Jesus.
of pride
Help
from
me,
us.
Lord, my
Remove
Father,
the
to
garment of pride from our
deliver
home.
me, oh God, my
Remove the
Father,
garment
from
of
the
pride from
spirit
our
of
marriages.
pride.
Remove
In
the
the
garment of
mighty
pride, the
name
fruit
of
of
Jesus.
conversation that we
Baba,
talk to
make
the
me, oh
people.
God,
When
my
we
Father,
respect
Baba,
people,
to
elderly people, how do we talk to them?
oh
Our
God,
brothers and
my
our
Father.
sisters, the younger
Oh God,
how do we
to be
God just have
humble,
our
God, my
Father?
Father, meekness,
Crucify
oh God,
our
my
flesh,
Father. I want to be
crucify us,
like you,
oh
Lord
God,
Jesus, in
in the
humbleness,
mighty
oh
name of
God, my
Jesus
Father,
Christ.
and
Help
meekness.
us to
In
be
the
humble.
mighty name of
Help
Jesus,
us to be
help me,
humble.
Lord, my
Help us
Father,
to
to
be
be
humble.
humble.
Help
Help
us
me,
to be
Lord, my
humble.
Father,
In
to
the
be
name of
humble.
Jesus
Let me,
Christ.
my
We
Lord,
need to be humble. The church needs to be humble. The people, oh God, that are called by your name. Father, oh God, we
Father,
pray
help
for that
me, oh
spirit
God,
of
my Father, to
humility.
be
Let
humble.
it
In the
continue in
mighty
our
name of
members.
Jesus,
In the
help
mighty
me,
name of
Father, with
Jesus
your
Christ.
I
For
pray
in
for the
Jesus'
humility
name
of
we pray.
Humility of Moses in the mighty name.
Lastly, we are going to pray generally for the works of the flesh. The Lord should remove every work of the flesh from our life, every fruit of the flesh that we have been bearing, and fill us with the fruit of the Spirit, with the 9 fruit of the Spirit: joy, love, goodness, kindness, faithfulness, self-control, meekness, and others thereof. The Lord in His infinite mercy, we need to bear fruit. He said, every tree that beareth not fruit, the Lord will heal that. He will cut it down. So we should bear fruit. We are supposed to bear fruit. So wherever the works of the flesh are hiding in us, the Lord should fetch them out, take them away in His mercy, and fill us with the fruit of the Spirit.
My Father, destroy the works of the flesh, oh God, my
Fill us,
any Baba
with
with
the
the
fruit of the
works of
Spirit.
the flesh, oh God,
Abba,
my
Father,
Father,
with
in
the
my life,
fruit
Father,
of the
destroy them,
Spirit.
oh God, my Father,
Let
so
our
power in
spirit
the
The
love
mighty name
fruit
of
you.
of
Jesus,
Our
Father.
Father,
spirit
fruit
love
of
you.
Therefore,
repentance,
Let
O
our
oh
Lord.
God, my
spirit love
Father,
you.
Father,
Father, destroy
destroy
Spirit
them, oh
man.
God,
works
my
of
Father, the power in
Father.
the mighty name of
The
Jesus,
mighty
Father,
Change
name
give me
of
the
myself
fruit
Jesus
of
up
the
Christ.
with
Spirit
Father,
and
oh
give me
God,
the
repentance.
grace
fill us
to
with
start
those
to
fruits
use
of
them,
joy,
oh God, my
the
Yourself
fruit
Father,
of
to
with
love,
implement the
to
fruit
repentance.
love one
in the
another,
mighty name
the
of
fruit of
Jesus. Help
joy,
me, Lord, my
the
Father, to
Yourself
bear
with
fruit
tenderness
repentance.
go.
in the
Let anger
mighty name
go.
of Jesus, Father, Baba. Help me, Lord,
Hatred
my
go.
Father,
Have
to
The
bear
fruit of
mercy
long suffering,
upon me, Father.
forbearing, the fruit of patience,
any
every work of the
Baba,
flesh,
the
Fruit
works of
of
the
self-control.
flesh,
Father.
oh
Anger,
God, my Father,
Jesus Christ,
destroy
peace,
any works of
Father,
the
fruit
flesh
of
that is still, oh God,
repentance.
my Father,
you
operating
to
in
be
my life.
faithful
Father,
in your
destroy
work,
them.
to be
Deliver me, oh God,
faithful
my
in
Father,
ministry,
goodness.
to be faithful
Deliver
in
me,
the
oh God,
on
my
our
Father,
walk with
goodness.
you.
Every
In
In
the
the
name
mighty
of
name of
Jesus
Jesus,
Christ,
the
wherever
mighty
you
name
have
of
put
my
us, to
Father,
teach us to be
make
faithful.
me, oh
In
God,
the
my
name
Father,
of
Baba,
Jesus
to
the
Christ,
love
power
you,
in
oh
the
Father.
God,
blood
my
of
Father.
Jesus.
In the mighty name of Jesus, Father, I want
Take
to
it
bear
away,
good
take
fruit,
it
oh
away,
God.
Father.
In
Every
the mighty name
spirit
of
upon my life,
Jesus, help me,
every
Lord, my Father,
spirit
to
of
bear fruit
discord, oh Lord.
in fruit
Take
of
it
the
away,
Spirit. In
take
the
it
mighty
away,
name
oh
of
Lord.
Jesus,
In the
fill me
Flesh
with
mighty
the
must be
name
fruit
of
of the
mortified.
Spirit.
Jesus.
Help me,
Flesh
my
Take it away, oh
Father.
Lord.
must
Power
be
in the
purged
In the
blood
out
name
of
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 Jesus.
man.
Jesus Christ.
Take
Amen.
away, take
Wickedness.
it away, Lord.
In
Take
Jesus'
it off,
name,
Father.
we have
In
prayed.
Jesus'
Let's open our mouth and begin to thank God for the life of the man of God that He has used tonight. Let's appreciate the name of the Lord for His life. Many are called, but few are chosen. And even many that are called, not all of them are already doing the work. So we are going to thank the Lord for his life, for picking up the ministerial work, for picking up what the Lord has asked him to do, for being in our midst today, and for speaking, allowing the Spirit of the Lord to speak through him, for not speaking out of his own selfish gain, his own selfish interest, but for allowing the Lord to use him. Let's begin to
In
appreciate the
the
name of the
mighty
Lord
name
for
of
his life.
Jesus,
Father, we thank you
my
for your
Father, we
son.
thank you,
Thank
Lord
you,
Jesus,
thank you,
oh
thank
God,
you
my
for
Father,
bringing him
Baba,
to us
for the
today.
life of
Thank
your
you for fishing
servant,
him
oh
out,
God, my
choosing
Father,
him
thank
amongst
you,
his
Father,
family.
for Baba, for his life,
Thank
oh
you for
God,
I
the
my
grace
thank
you
Father,
have
you
Baba,
given
for
we
unto
your
thank
him
you for
servant.
using him,
the
oh God,
Lord
my Father,
to
as a
overcome
vessel to
the
talk
spirit
to
of the
us,
world.
oh God, my
Thank
Father.
you for the
In fact, anointing. Thank you for the fire. Thank you for the utterance. Thank you for his family. Thank you for his home. Thank you for his ministry. Thank you, Abba Father. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Father. For in Jesus' name, we are praying. The Lord said that day will not come except there first be a great falling away. That prophecy will not happen in his life.
that prophecy will not hold in his life. We are going to pray for the Lord to uphold him, to keep him in faith. Hold his hand like a child, that he should not fall. Carry him and keep him and everything that pertains to him in the hollow of his hand. In the name of Jesus Christ. Father, we pray that you will uphold him mightily. He will not fall away. This power that wants to make him, oh God, my Father, to fall. My God, my Father, with your
every evil arrow against his life, oh Father, let it catch fire, let it catch fire in the mighty name of Jesus.
Every crown that a believer should have, he will let them. He will be among the apostles that are returned in heaven. He will be among the 10 that have made it. In the name of Jesus, Father, he will not fall away. He will not fall away. His families will not fall away. Even they that are not born again, because of him, they will be born again. And keep him in the hollow of your hand. Keep him in your bosom. In the name of Jesus Christ, build that edge about his life, oh God. For in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
We are going to backfire every arrow. Definitely, arrow must come. Every arrow that will be fired against him because of the message, because he has picked up this work. Every arrow that have been planned against his life, that have been orchestrated against his life. I don't know how to put it in English. We are going to begin to backfire them. Arrow from the pit of, arrow from the kingdom of darkness, arrow from anyone, from Jezebel, from demons, from Lucifer, from the pit of the one. Lord God, let it backfire. In the name of Jesus Christ, every arrow that will be fired against his life, to bring him down, to quench his fire, to weaken him, to cause him to fall back to the center. In the name of Jesus Christ, we return them back. We return them back. We return them back. We return them back. In the name of Jesus Christ, we return back. We return back. We return back. We return back. Every arrow that will be fired against him tonight, even as he's sleeping, wherever he is, whenever they will be fired, we return them back. Every demon in hiding, every powers in hiding, every force in hiding against his life, against his soul. Tonight you overcome. In the name of Jesus Christ, tonight we backfire. Tonight we backfire. Arrow of sin, we return them back to sender. Arrow of weakness, we return them back to sender. Arrow of lukewarmness, we return them back to sender. Arrow of failure, we return them back to sender. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ. In Jesus' name we pray.
In the mighty name of Jesus.
The apostles were asking Jesus. They say, what about us? He said, I tell you thereof, anyone that has followed me, that has decided to walk with me, I'm paraphrasing, he will not miss his reward here on earth and even in heaven. He will be rewarded. So we are going to pray. The reward, there is a gain in serving the Lord, and there are lots of benefits in serving the Lord. So the reward, the benefit that follows serving the Lord, he will not miss it. He, Pastor Damian, he will not miss the reward. He will not miss the gain. He will not miss the benefit. Every blessing that follows serving the Lord, the blessings of Abraham will be his. In the name of Jesus Christ, the gain that follows those that are faithfully following the Lord, he will not fall short of it. In the name of Jesus. And even in heaven, he will be rewarded greatly. In the name of Jesus Christ. Father, oh God, he will not miss his reward. You know him better. You know his cry. You know his pain. You know his heart desire. You know those things that break his heart. You know those things that cause him to cry. You know those things that is causing him to mourn. My Father, my friend, I pray that you meet him at the point of his need tonight. The children of God are not permitted to be in need. In the name of Jesus Christ. Father, reward him greatly. Reward him powerfully. Reward him faithfully. In the name of Jesus Christ. And Father, oh God, we pray that above all, at the end of all, you will take him to your bosom. You will take him to your eternal home. For in Jesus' name, we pray.
Amen.
Hand over to you, Pastor Jeff.
Auntie Jovita, can you round for us, please?
Amen. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord. We bless your holy name, oh God. We thank you for your servant who have used, Lord. Thank you for using him to reveal ourselves unto us, oh Lord. Thank you, Father, King of glory, because you love us so much, have rebuked us today, Lord. Father, we pray for your grace, oh Lord, to be the hearer. You say he that is just, let him continue to be just. Father, make us to be just in the name of Jesus Christ, oh Lord. Every accuser of brother that will stand to accuse us, oh Lord. Let the blood of Jesus Christ stand on our behalf tonight in Jesus' name. Make us change children of yours. Jesus' name. Make us transformed in Jesus' name. Make us new creation before you in the name of Jesus Christ, oh God. We bless your name for your servant, oh Lord. Father, may you reward him in abundance in the name of Jesus. As we agree tonight, oh Lord, you will never miss it in Jesus' name. None of this one will stand against you on that day in Jesus' name. And his house shall enlarge in the name of Jesus. We hand over CHMI hand, oh Lord. As it pleases you to use this means, oh Lord, to circulate your word, to display this truth, oh Lord. Don't get offended will be against us, against us in Jesus' name. We glorify your name in the name of Jesus. Father, as we are departing, oh Lord, this words today will receive, oh Lord. Let them permeate into us, oh God. Let them be produced at last, oh Lord. That only your name alone, oh Lord, will be glorified in the name of Jesus. Any part of our rise, God stand and consume them all in the name of Jesus Christ. Father, we thank you. We bless your name for answering our prayers. We give you all the glory, honor, adoration, be unto your holy name, now forevermore. For in Jesus Christ's mighty name we pray with thanksgiving. Amen. We call our prayers tonight. What of God we are received tonight in our heart, we see them all by the precious blood of Jesus Christ. For in Jesus' mighty and powerful name we pray with thanksgiving. Amen. Amen. God bless you, sir. Thank you, sir. Amen. Let us share the grace together. Amen.
May the grace of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the love of God the Father,
the sweet fellowship of the Holy Spirit, rest, remain, and abide with us now and forevermore. Amen.
Amen.
Surely God's goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our life.
We shall
Dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
and ever. Amen.
Thank you, Jesus.
God bless you in Jesus' name. Shalom. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, Evangelist Damian.
Hello.
It was short but very powerful. We wanted you to continue small.
You say you want?
We wanted you to continue with the message.
Okay.
These are messages that are very relevant in today's ministry. These are things that are affecting all of us. So it's a reflection. We pray to reflect so that the Lord will continue to empower us.
Amen. Amen. It's all right. I had it writing. I saw Tuesday. He said on Tuesday. Is this coming Tuesday?
Yes, it's the coming Tuesday.
Okay, it's all right. It's all right. And exactly this time? Okay.
Exactly the same time.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Bless you. Thank you so much for the honor.
All right.
God bless you, sir. We are grateful.
Bless you, sir.
Bless you. Bless you.
Bless you.
All
Bless
right.
you.
Shalom, everybody.
Amen, Sister.
Shalom.
Bless you.
Bless you, sir.
Sister Timothy, Adeyemi, bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Shalom. God bless you all.
Sister, how are you?
God bless you. Mama,
Oh,
God bless you. Samuel, God bless you.
Amen.
Peter, God bless you.
Bless you.
Brother Jeff, God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. These are the leaders, Pastor Evangelist Damian.
You say?
These are the leaders.
Okay.
These are the ones that are always holding my hands when I'm tired. I say, no, the journey, we are getting close. Let us move. Let us move.
Okay. That's beautiful. The patience and all of you, thank you so much, Jovita. Thank you so much for
bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir.
We glorify God for you, sir. Thank God.